So this is the second installment of Color and Sound. We actually did this show originally in 2022, and we have 5 all-new artists this year. It is still based off of the music of Dave Crenshaw, but this year we have Rae Lynn Dodson, Branson, Michelle Reynolds, Jennifer McConnell, Banks Compton, and they have all created work for this exhibit, and I actually created some work too. I had to create something. I just felt compelled to create something. So I am very excited to bring all these artists together, and they have some really cool pieces that they've made this year. And we have Dave is here again. He's going to play some songs for us tonight. So this exhibit is based off of his album, the same name, Color and Sound. And it just really inspired me to create art whenever he kind of created songs for all these different colors. So it is a really cool interpretation of just seeing what everybody did in the exhibit was just really fascinating.
So happy to be invited to be one of the exhibiting artists for this show. And so when Lindsay asked me about this, and I started trying to, think of an idea and come up with, what I wanted to do, this kind of evolved. I had a basic idea, but what you see here now was not the initial full idea. So I was thinking about how, this is geared for, vision impaired viewers, and how when you have hearing impairment or vision impairment, we have to communicate still. So I was thinking about how we all have a story. So we always have each of us have life experiences. And I actually have some hearing loss myself, so I've experienced, how that is so annoying, and trying to, ask people to repeat themselves again, and it's embarrassing actually sometimes. But anyway, I was thinking about how sometimes we can have 20/20 vision and still not see. Sometimes we can have perfect hearing, but we don't listen. And so I thought, if we could listen to each other's stories, then we could come to a better understanding sometimes of each other, and we could, and that's part of the communication too, finding a common ground with each other. So this is about my story and your story, and my piece is inviting the viewers to write a portion of their story or share a portion of their story. And so it's interactive piece. I also got a little playful with some of it by doing the gigantic pencil. The large book, to me, it represents how important our stories are. They're important and they're valued. So that's the largest piece in the exhibit. The large pencil is just for I was hoping that people would maybe take pictures of themselves holding the pencil, like they're, writing. I had initially thought and planned to do this arched piece over here, but then the weave was that came at the last. And I was thinking about the part, how we wanted this show to have some tactile, pieces, and where low vision people could feel, touch all the pieces. So my mom, who passed away in 2014, she had a sewing room, and I have 3 plastic tubs full of fabric from her. Some of that fabric, she's probably had it 30 years, In fact, some of these, I recognize some of these. She made outfits for me for some of these pieces. And so I started weaving this and put it on this little wooden frame. And I was thinking about, this might sound cheesy, but I was thinking how sometimes this can represent how our shared stories, how they're interlaced, just the humanity part of it. We share common experiences sometimes, even though we're all individuals. But anyway, this interlaced fabric is kind of like, representing that, the interlaced parts of our lives. The paper, the branch that goes from one end to the other serves as an element to kind of tie the whole piece together. And I decided to, when I was putting that up, to I mount it away from the wall a little bit so that it would throw these nice little shadows on the wall. I've tried to make this where they could, feel of the three-dimensional part of it and the little frame. This is actually dried orange slices, and then these, raised leaves. All this is out of foam board, so it looks heavy, but it's not really. One thing led to another. Like I said, my color was orange, and so then, I started thinking about actual oranges. And so that's where these orange slices came in. And this is kind of a classical, when we were studying art history when I was in school at Montevallo, some of those still lifes would have a piece of fruit, with a peel hanging off, and with a table or something. So anyway, that's kind of what this is about. And then it led to orange groves. I've got, this is everyone has and this is story, spelt out in sign language, S-T-O-R-Y. So this little paper mache figure is supposed to represent me. And I'm looking over and I'm gazing and studying your story. It's supposed to be like me trying to listen and see your story, okay? And I had originally wanted to put text on, the figure, and I was thinking maybe I would need to just maybe tear some pages out of an old book and put them on. But then I had the papers laying there that I had written all this on. So I thought, I'm just gonna photocopy that and tear those in strips. So she actually has my story all over her, okay? Yeah. So each of these is the braille for that letter, for the S. Anyway, all this is raised, just so they can feel this. I tried to come back and, put raised texture on there.
So this piece I created this time is called Spotless Cheetah in Matisse's Garden, and I've actually used the cheetah in a couple of different pieces of art that I've made in the past, and I've also used these kind of abstract images as well. This is based off of Henri Matisse. He had this series of cutouts that he actually cut out of paper. So a lot later in his life, he was wheelchair bound and he couldn't paint anymore. And so he would cut these kind of abstract images out of paper, and he had studio assistants that would help him actually put these images like on these huge canvases on the wall. I mean, you can go into museums, these things are as tall as this wall, they are massive. But he still had this drive to create much later in his life, even whenever he didn't really have the physical ability to do that anymore. And so these images, they've just always been really inspirational to me. So like I said, I've used the cheetah and these in a lot of my printmaking stuff before. And so I thought it would be really cool to kind of do these in like a 3D kind of texture. So this is a rug that I actually hand tufted myself. I have a rug tufting gun at home. And so I did this whole background, and then all these little shapes are all done with punch needle, and they have a little wire that's sewn into the edge of them, so it makes them flexible. So you can come up, touch them, move them around. And then they have this beadwork and all these little beads on the front. Some of them have wire on the beads, and I just wanted to give it kind of a more interesting texture. And then on the back of them, I actually sewed these little bells. So you can walk up and they jingle. You probably can't hear the jingling, but they do jingle. So it's kind of a fun, it gives it just a little bit more of an interesting texture. So this one was a lot of fun to do. I was really happy with how it turned out. So this show is always an exercise in creativity. And so you know, it's always fun to like try something that you've never done before. And I've never done these like soft sculptures before. So it was a lot of fun to do.
I got involved here last year. I showed with a group of women, embodied a dress show, a take on the contemporary dress. And so I met Lindsay then, and then all of my pieces were so tactile and large and very installation heavy. So she asked me to join the group here for the color and sound group. So I'm really excited about it. This is called Intertwined Nature Nook. And I wanted to have an interactive weaving piece. So we've got a tree in the wall of cording, and then a bin of fabric strips. They're silky but bumpy, very tactile, and people can go and reach into the bin and get some fabric and just fill in all the empty spaces around the tree. And I've got little quilted leaves hanging, so you can feel the leaves, and then birds. And then the sound of the wood thrush is playing in the corner here in a little hidden speaker. But I've got on the outside is a quilted tree, and then on this side is a quilted sun. But then the shadows come through since they're lit on the outside. And then a spider web in the top. And then my snake pal over here. I always have to have a snake in the artwork. I like real snakes, but I like snake myths and some snake art.
Well, Color and Sound 2, curated by Lindsay Dias, is incredible. It's a hands-on art exhibit. It's one of those rare exhibits you could come in and actually touch and feel the art. It's great for people with visual and hearing impairments just to come in and have a great artistic experience. So we encourage you to come out, not only see the art, but also experience it.
Well, I know Lindsay, and she had done this before a couple of years ago, and it was just such a really cool project that she had done. I love that it's for not your traditional gallery kind of show. It's they want people to touch the art, they want people to really experience it, so I thought that was really cool. When I got the opportunity to do it, I guess I just started with what was the feeling that I wanted somebody to have. And so I wanted them to feel like when you're a little kid and you make a box fort, you know? And once that happened, I tried to think about ways like, well, how do I feel like that when I'm an adult? You know, I don't build box forts anymore. What is that thing that elicits that feeling? And it was nature. So the inside is nature. We've got moss, we've got little bits of real nature. And then the rest of the booth around it is just an imitation.
Lindsay invited me to submit a piece for this exhibit after we did some work together on a previous exhibit that they had in Shelby County called the Sew Their Names exhibit. I was program manager out at the Wallace Center here in Shelby County, and Lindsay and I knew each other through that. So we talked about our individual artistic practices, and she learned that I was also a textile artist. So when this exhibit came to be, she invited me to submit a piece. Well, I was like reading my artist statement about it, and I think that that really gets at what this is about for me. The the flower, that kind of purple wildflower, symbolizes everything that purple is, right? Like power and all those things. But it is really for me about all those women that raised me and their gardens and yards and flowers and what that represented and kind of touching it, right? It's quilted fabric that underscores like that comfort, connection, home, all of those things. And I work in quilted sculptures, as it were. So everything that I'm doing, I'm underscoring, right, that comfort and love that comes from that hand stitching and sewing, all of that.
Hi, my name is Banks Compton. I participated in the Color and Sound exhibit at the Shelby County Arts Center. I'm a full-time mural artist and I've painted murals all over the state of Alabama, but I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama on the coast. So for this exhibit with the color blue, what I wanted to do is kind of call back to my roots in Mobile, where Mardi Gras originated. Growing up, I've always loved doing 3D art, 3D sculpture, and I even got to build Mardi Gras floats in New Orleans for a little while. So with this installation, what I wanted to do was create something that was kind of uniquely Mobile, very grand Mardi Gras-esque, like some of my paintings I'm working on in my studio. But I also wanted to do something that kind of made me think about the sounds of Mobile. Growing up there as a child, you'd often hear these thunderstorms, quick rainstorms that come through the city very quickly, sometimes for a brief moment of wind rushing by, rain, and things like that. So with that in mind, I created this installation that has tendrils of seashells, beads, chimes, all sorts of things that make a really satisfying tingling sound when your hands or wind blow up beside them. This exhibit was really unique for me and different than a lot of the other art that I get to do. Normally I'm painting still images on walls all over. So to have something that I could make that was tactile and interactive was really unique for me and very special. This mural, or this installation rather, is kind of a combination of all the things I love about art. It brings people together. It is accessible to people that might not always have access to art. And in this case, even more so, with even with some people with disabilities being able to have greater access to this art. And it is something that brings the community together. It's interactive, and this is just so different than what I get to normally do. So I was really excited to participate and to create something really memorable, fun, and sentimental to me as far as where I come from in the state of Alabama. So this installation really summarizes, I think, for me, the importance of community when it comes to art, the unique things art can do, and it ties in the history of Alabama as far as what makes the state so unique. So that is my installation. Again, I'm incredibly grateful to be a part of the show and to do something at such a large scale for people to interact with. And I'm unfortunately was not able to make it to the opening, but I'm so glad I got to participate.
Well, first of all, I'm honored, to be a part of this exhibit. My music, I don't have any words to say, but I'm just very appreciative and honored for this event. Looking forward to experiencing the gallery and discussing, my album and my music. So.
Well, one thing, when I created the album, we were in the pandemic, so we were locked in. So I said to myself, I'm not going to sit here and just sit at home every day. I had some shows scheduled out of the country that all got canceled within a week or two, like 6 months worth of stuff. So I said, hey, while I'm sitting here, I'm just going to do an album. So, that's what inspired me to create Color and Sound.
Tell us about those visuals from other artists.
Yeah, so the visuals that you saw, and another thing, as during the pandemic, everything just happened within like 6 months of that year. But I started having eye issues, and I went to eye doctors and stuff. And long story short, they were telling me I was losing my eyesight. So when I was locked in the house, during the pandemic, I put those actual colors up. The song titles on this album is Blue, White, Brown, Gold, Yellow, Green, Orange. I feel like I'm missing a color. So. Red, yeah, red, yes. I make so much music, I forget what I do sometimes. But I just put that color in my studio up on the screen, and what you hear on the album, that came out of me in one take.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I just, yeah, that's just how I did it. I am not worthy to have you here. When my spirit was down, stronger than gold. When I was sad, you make me smile. Love is stronger than gold. Your love is gold. Your love